Hello, and welcome to this quick video focusing on how to gracefully shut down a NetApp storage controller or a NetApp cluster.
Hello, I am Jazz, and welcome to today's session. Let's talk about how and why you might have to shut down an ONTAP cluster. Imagine you are facing a scheduled power outage, a data center-wide maintenance, or even a task that involves the move of your NetApp storage equipment to another location. All those situations enforce that you need to shut down your NetApp storage clusters for a certain period of time. How would you do this? What are the risks, and what are the essential things you need to consider to make sure powering on the equipment afterwards will not cause any unwanted trouble? For this, let's discuss on the ONTAP shutdown process. Before shutdown, let's ensure all prerequisites are met and needed login information is ready. First, make sure you have physical and remote access to all the components that need to be shut down and powered off. Have the physical location of every component of the equipment be verified and located. This includes all attached disk shelves belonging to the storage controllers, same as cluster switches, and so on. Make sure access to service processor or BMC for every controller of the cluster is available. Ensure for remote access for all of the switches that will be shut down. Ensure all credentials are present and also try out remote logins and access. Next, stop all active backup jobs that involve the storage controllers to be powered off. Notify coworkers, database admins, backup teams, and monitoring staff that the controllers will be out of service and data access will be unavailable while the equipment is shut down. If possible, inform your NetApp support account manager about the scheduled controller power down. Send an auto support message indicating the controller will shut down for maintenance.
Hey, Jazz, Alex here. What are the commands to shut down the storage controllers?
Hey Alex, awesome to have you with us in this video. Yes, let's get to the interesting part, when actually this is very easy. Within the NetApp knowledge base, you can find the official document that shows the steps that should be followed. Now, let's go together through the document. This is really straightforward, so as discussed before, we need to log into all your controllers via Service Processor or BMC console. This can be done remotely via SSH client or locally on-site using a serial cable. Once connected, we type the command under Step 6 to halt all controllers in the cluster. Step 7 asks for the acknowledge to halt all nodes and must be answered with Y for yes. Wait till all controllers show the loader prompt.
Wow, that is really easy. But for a power maintenance, wouldn't it make sense to also physically remove the power from the components? I assume the loader prompt does not power off anything from a physical power standpoint, does it?
No, it doesn't. You're right. So, following the KB, there are two options, and the power down activity sections describes both. What I prefer is also the preferred method in the document. Usually, when there is a power maintenance, you need to ensure that the equipment will not boot up right away once power has been reestablished. Otherwise, all equipment would start in an uncontrolled manner. Also, it is not helpful if controllers or disk shelves start to power up and then crash down again due to a repeated power loss. This happens quite often as the boot up power consumption is higher than the power consumption during normal operation, causing an overload of the network. It is vital to physically toggle all the PSU's rocker switches to off. In addition, and if there are no rocker switches, remove all the power cables from controllers, disk shelves, and switches.
Okay, but what if I cannot remove the power cables from the equipment? I assume the second procedure can be used, right?
Yes, correct. For such cases, the document holds the necessary steps to ensure that the NetApp controllers will not start to boot automatically once power is reestablished. It's the so-called power down remote procedure. However, you always should wait for permission to power on the system and have it booting up.
Thanks, Jazz. This session was great. It's always a pleasure working with you.
Thanks, Alex. We hope this video was helpful. Please don't hesitate to give us feedback.
Thank you for watching, and have a wonderful day ahead.